When does prison finally leave you? You can leave prison physically, but how long does it take prison to leave you mentally?
I'm in the cooler getting a energy drink, and I hear some keys, bro. I'm like, what? Like, and it's been about 4 years, bro. I've been home about 4 years.
It's okay for people to think differently. It is okay. Hey, we don't even have to agree. The one thing that I've told my wife this, I said, yo, I don't want to be right. I want to be understood.
I lost that time. I can never get that time back. Am I going to spend my time worrying about all of that, or am I going to maximize on what's in front of me?
We all say people deserve another opportunity. But would we personally take the risk to hire somebody just like us?
100% I would. I almost want you to doubt that I don't deserve to be on the same playing field with you, because I'm going to show you that I'll be right on the same level with you.
The luckiest thing that can happen in your life is meeting somebody like me that needs an opportunity, is going to help you advance. I said, because I think way bigger than you. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the fifth quarter. This show is about what happens after the sentence, what prison changes, what coming home really looks like, and what rebuilding requires. Today, we're getting into some questions that may not have comfortable answers. When prison finally leaves you mentally, whether we'd hire someone with our own conviction, whether supervised release actually helps, and if we get there, whether the system feels like justice once you live through it. We don't have to all agree. We just have to be honest. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
What's up? What's up, fellas?
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, Ross? What's up, B? How was
What's
y'all
going
week?
What's going on?
Long, brother. Long.
I feel like
Y'all working over there. You moving that inventory?
Trying to. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get into it. Topic is, when does prison finally leave you? You can leave prison physically, but how long does it take prison to leave you mentally? Okay, so Ross, we're gonna start with you. Was there a moment when you realized you were still behaving like you were incarcerated even though you were home?
For me, I would say no, and I think that is just because of my mindset. That yeah, I mean, I really didn't allow that environment to consume me to the point where I would come out worse than I went in. So I was very conscious of absorbing. I was reading and absorbing information and constantly sharpening my skills while I was inside. So I didn't allow the distractions of that environment to keep me, like, to knock me off my square, to keep me not focused on the mission when I came home. So I would say that for me, obviously the frustrations and different things, and we can have different traits. Like me and BB laughing sometimes because, like, hearing keys and stuff, like it's certain triggers. Like, you start realizing, like, why hearing keys all the time, like, start triggering. Like, I'm like, man, why
No.
I'm feeling some type of way.
Lockdown.
Well, hold up. Now,
Lockdown.
with him is the whistling. With me is the keys, man. It's when me and him went to
It's
we went
both.
to your birthday party. We went to your birthday party, right? We stopped at the gas station when we on our way there, right? And I'm in the cooler getting a energy drink, and I hear some keys, bro. I'm like, what? Like, and it's been about 4 years, bro. I've been home about 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And it had me messed up because when we got back in the car, I was like, bro, I haven't really never experienced that since I've been home, and I can't believe I'm still tripping off some keys. But you know what I'm saying? It had me just like, really, like I said, I was shook. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Ross. My bad.
Nah, you good. Nah, because
It's all good. Just a conversation.
it's little stuff like
sure.
that. It's little stuff like that. So I wouldn't say it. Yeah, it's little things that you find that kind of pop up. Be like, wait, where did that come from? Like, you know what I mean? Because but from a totality of just like my mindset, I think that I came out hyper focused because I feel like I lost this time, and we can't get time back. So I'm more so like maximizing the time since I've been home, because I basically, each time I tried to hit the ground running. We know the first time was a fail because I got indicted again, right? And then the stresses of dealing with that. And then when that was over, I caught myself hitting the ground running. And the whole time, I guess the only frustration was the difficulty of building anything, especially in public, because you kind of want to, at least from my standpoint, I never want to have to over explain to the general public if I'm building a brand or building an image that I want to use my story, right, as inspiration to guys, because I feel like I didn't, with neither of us let it crack us, let it break us. So, but I also know how the general public may see things, and I didn't really want to have to deal with trying to build something and kind of keep explaining why I got to deal with this again as if it was still present, even though all this stuff kind of like predated my first prison sentence. All that said, long story short, to say, yeah, I have little things like the whistling, because, you know, when the police come in there, you know what I'm saying, dudes be whistling kind of to let you know the police coming around. So if you own anything, you better, you know what I'm saying, put it all away right now.
No doubt.
Like,
So,
own anything like what? Give us an example, brother.
you know what I'm
Give
saying?
the
You know, it's
audience an
cats in there,
example.
you know, you on your jack, you on you on your burner, you cats in
You
there
on your
vape,
phone, on your cell phone in prison,
you
bro.
on
Go ahead, say it. Yeah, the phone.
you on your cell phone,
Yeah,
because or you know, whatever you may be on your cell phone, uh whatever you got going on with the police may, you know, it's against policy. It's like contraband in hand, because you know anything in there could be contraband. It ain't just always a
No
cell
doubt.
phone. Like you
No
said
doubt.
through the phone, it could be goddamn vegetables. This is like
yeah. Cutting
contraband.
up, man. You sitting there cutting up your
Okay,
vegetables, and
so
they on the
B,
yeah.
hey, B always had contraband if it came to
Man,
food.
don't do that. Don't do. When it
Hey,
came
When
to
it came to
food, yeah, when
hey,
food,
it came to food,
I remember
yeah.
Ross. I used to see him coming out. I worked in the kitchen. Remember B? I worked there for 3 months, and B would
Right.
be coming out the back door with like I would see it in his clothes. He'd be like, "Yo, chill out," and I would go to his cell, and it would be like green bell peppers, salad, like shit that they didn't
Onions,
serve. That
yeah,
and
onions,
Spank
yeah.
was kicking in extra. Like
Right.
if you was on the what they call it, the food plan.
man, what you in there chefing it up?
Yeah.
You got to get.
You had a, it was like you was out here in the world. You had to have a membership. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, not
A weekly
only a
membership. You know
couple.
what I'm saying? To get,
Hey, there was only
yeah,
so
real
many
shit.
members allowed on the food plan. Like I think Spank said there was only like 20 people. B was special. Like Pat was one of them. Like and
Yeah,
the food plan was real. You got the Beyonce burger. You got the
man.
Oh yeah, that
hey the
Beyonce
food
Fried
burger
like
chicken
used to be
on
slapping.
fried chicken on Thursdays. You dig what I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
saying?
But
Yeah,
but think about out of 300 people, only 20 people using the top 10% on the food plan. He was balling in
yeah,
prison.
without a
That's
doubt.
funny. Nah, that's too
Yeah,
funny.
without a doubt.
So
Yeah.
B, I got a question for you. What do you call it? For you on the same subject. Did family or friends notice behaviors in you that you didn't notice yourself when you got back?
I would say yeah. Just that I was less reactive, and when I would get in stressful situations or maybe some situations of conflict, um, I use the words beneficial and encourage. You know what I'm saying? And quite a
Or
bit.
I suggest,
You know,
or I suggest, I
I
suggest.
suggest. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of moved on from the beneficial. I use more encourage now. But yeah, but that's
Now
so that's something.
I'll piggyback on that. When I got back,
Yeah.
you know, the DAP was in us. And remember, we all had to do, I don't know, Ross, if you finished yours,
Mhm.
I had to do the full like 6 months of the, was it group therapy outside and the one-on-one.
I don't
And
know.
so,
I didn't
dude,
feel much. No, 100.
and so I had some dudes that really loved the program in there. You know, they didn't go where we were, but they was in like Coleman and whatnot. And so, dude, these were some street cats that was using all the words. And at first, I was like, I said,
Right.
how they gonna try? We all on the program. I know what to do. They was like, but they were talking to each other, and I always thought it was bitten. They'd be like, dude, you know, it'd be beneficial if you know, slide me one of them cigars. They was using it
Beneficial.
for some like hood shit.
Right.
It would be better. And I used to
Beneficial.
be in there like in the group therapy like this. These dudes going back to prison.
Right. No, myself, bro. I still got habits from I did my first bid. I went in at 11 and got home at 12, man. And I did the last 3 months of that bid in the hole. You know what I'm saying? And so in the hole to make your time pass, I would have a regimen every day. What I would do from the time I would get up to I would lay down, you know what I'm saying, at night. And so part of that was waking up, drinking coffee, using the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? One of the things I've picked up from using the bathroom, being in the hole, is courtesy flushing. We got into that on a different episode you did.
I mean, but in the hole though, that courtesy flush is even more important. Like where we were, we did have 4 or 5 stalls.
Yeah,
and it
for
was
sure.
private
But in the hole,
with a door.
It's more.
In the hole is different. I remember FDC Miami. You in there with a dude, and you just like, excuse me, I gotta go. And so you was in there. To the audience, if you missed last week's episode, he explained that he was in a one-man cell with 2 other men, grown men, and that toilet, that metal, whatever it is, you got to take a shit in front of 2 other people. So you're trying to be as courteous as you can because that's the most sacred thing, but it's only so much you can do. So the best thing you can do is flush a lot.
Without a doubt. So that would probably be a habit
I still do it.
Had. Yeah,
Me
and
too.
I still do it too.
I do it as soon as I sit down. I flush.
As soon as you drop, as soon as you drop. You know
as soon as I sit down, I'm like, shh.
And it's a habit that I have. And then one of the habits, or another habit I have is just that, man, when I'm around people that do a whole lot of talking, it really gets on my nerves now. Like when it and I didn't notice it before going to prison, you know what I'm saying? But when people get to doing just a whole lot of talking or telling you all their business or whatever, man, it just really makes me feel a certain type of way. And then I get to think, oh man, you wouldn't make it where I done been, you know what I'm saying? And then also like when people like, I'm really stay in my lane and try to mind my business, bro. And so, example being, like I might see somebody before, you know what I'm saying, like on the compound, like see somebody with them same vegetables we talking about. You got the grape. Hey man, where you get that at? And man, brother be looking at you like, man, what? Like, what did you order? You hot? You the police? You want some police? You know what I'm saying? So you had to, like, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you gotta. And so in them situations now, it's like, hey man, I'm trying to get some of that work. You know, help me get that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask a question, but it's a different question. I ain't asking your business. I'm asking you for help. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? In this word and that way. So these are, and then like we talked about last week, I believe it was, I still fold my laundry to get the most space. You know what I'm saying? The same way I learned to fold my laundry in there, you know. And
you making the bed up every morning?
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying?
Hey Ross, I always made my bed up.
I didn't do that, but I'm definitely more conscious of it. I don't like looking at it if it's not made. You know, I'll at least pull the comforter back if I'm in a hurry. But yeah, it's just that presentation thing, you know. So I picked up. But
didn't they give a shot for my beds when made up in Montgomery?
Oh yeah, nah, you gotta make it better by 7 o'clock.
In RDAP, you had
7 o'clock.
But one thing I want to bring up before I forget, you know, Ross is talking about for him, no, consciously, but subconsciously, you know what I'm saying? You know, I've been around this brother since he was in the halfway house and he came home. You dig what I'm saying? We working together while he was in the halfway house. Man, he had a locker. He more or less made his desk in the file
his prison locker.
His prison locker, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had to call him on it. I said, bro,
he didn't even
fried out.
Hey, he didn't even know he was fried. He didn't even know he was fried. He just said this.
When I was in the halfway house, I did turn the office locker.
So I had another question.
Deodorant, all types of stuff.
Into that, and Ross answered it. It was, are there some prison habits that you would like to keep? So Ross said, yeah, every desk is now my locker.
Yeah, you're right. I did have it all ordered. I had my produce in there and everything.
We forget. We're talking to a lot of people in the audience. All right, so when you get to prison, you get a bunk and you get a locker. The locker, if I'm gonna be right, I don't know the exact dimensions, don't quote me on it, but if I'm just remembering, I would say it's about 6 to 8 inches wide by about 3 feet long. And these are all your belongings. Everything you own, everything in this world, you have to stuff into this locker. And there are some people probably like Ross, me, and B, we actually took pride in having our shit neat. Mm-hmm. And so we talking about food because you don't want nobody to steal your food. Yes, if you're out in the general, people do steal food. I've had candy bars stolen, bottled water, whatnot, and all you can do is be hot. Nothing you can do about it because you was gone. And if you like me that didn't like to lock your locker, I don't even lock my front door. And so I was in prison trying to live my outside life with this not locking the locker. I never locked my locker.
Right.
And so I had a couple things. So I would come in and you know how you don't want to think, that, especially in RDAP, that somebody would do that to you. Like, come on, man. And then I would be like, I know I had 2 coffees. But you look around and what you gonna do in RDAP? It's not like you in general population where you can do the same thing to somebody else. And so a couple of them things, I remember I used to go in your locker because you would let me and people would be like, what you doing? Like, I'll be like, nah, he said I can go in the thing. I'll be like, remember, I'll be like, yo, B, you got any coffee? And people be like, dude, what you doing? It was like, because that is your world. It is.
Without a doubt, yeah.
100%. Everything.
One other thing, you talking about coffee, right? So a habit I still have, bro, is I drink the coffee every morning. I move slow. I watch the morning news. You know what I'm saying? This is all. I never watched the news like this when I was free. You know what I'm saying? Until this last bit, because you know we get ready for jumpstart. So I would get up and then I want to use the bathroom for everybody that was getting up. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a big rush at the bathroom. So I move slow in the morning. I just take my time, drink my coffee, use the bathroom, watch the news. Then I find myself watching the nightly news when I get home every night, damn near. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to understand and know what's going on in the world.
You're trying to be abreast. You're trying to, like, when you're inside. When you're
don't
inside,
know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on besides the 300 dudes you with, the 800 people you with. And so the news is your access to the outside world. And so those habits are, I hate to say, those are good habits, dude. Every morning I'm either on CNN, CNBC, or ESPN, and probably a little bit of. And I would say when I go out to a bar right now, I'm still as versed as everybody else is. But like B, I agree with you. I used to be, I'm a talkative dude. I used to love going out, meeting strangers, buying them drinks, talking about life. Prison changed me completely. I go out now just to be outside. Like, we all live in Florida. The weather's great. Hey, the weather's great, but I like the weather being great for me now. I don't want to hear shit from nobody else. I went out last night. Hey, I met a white chick. I sat 5 seats away from this chick, y'all. 5 seats. Purposely. I came in, I was researching what we were doing today. And I came there purposely just to have 2 drinks. Dude, within 5 minutes, little white girl, probably in her 30s, she had on a hat that said, "Hot chicks hate ice." I don't give a fuck. And so I heard her talk to a bartender, and I knew, I used to go out to bars 5 days a week. I know that if I sit away, that this chick is going to want to talk because she's a chick who wants to stand out, wants conversation. She asked me about 5 minutes into me sitting down. She said, hey, I'm 5 seats away. I'm like, man, in prison, nobody would ever do this. In the world, why does anybody contact a stranger about who they are? And it irritated the hell out of me. I was like, I just come here to be outside. Like, and my outside is just, honestly, being outside. And maybe that's a prison habit.
Yeah.
And so prison for me made me, I would say that I used to be an extrovert when I wanted to be. And I was the one who was talkative and getting everybody to talk at the bar. Now prison made me know that I'm not that significant. Like, my conversations are not as important as I used to think they were. And so now I look at other people and I'm really judgy on that. I'm like, you think you're important. You don't matter. For real, not to me. Like, not your hat. and I came home and the first thing I did was tell Ariel. I was like, man, I just tried to go out, be by myself outside. And homegirl, I said, she ruined my dreams.
Yeah, with me, like I was saying, man, this is like one of my Codys. He came home, you know what I'm saying, and he didn't go through the program, and I'm chopping it up with him, and he just, he just don't stop talking, man. I'm like, bro, bro, I asked, man, how you make it through prison, bro? You all that talking, man, and then you do all that talking, you don't never do no listening, you know what I'm saying? Just, like, that's for me, man. I really, people that do a whole lot of talking, now, if it's about a particular topic or subject, something we were enduring and going through at the time, then that makes a little bit more sense. You know what I'm saying? But
just voluntary information.
volunteering information. And so like
Yeah.
Ross and I deal with customers all the like I'm even noticed, you know what I'm saying? Like I hadn't been around and because I've been traveling a little bit and I hadn't been in the routine of dealing with customers as much, man. And then the customers get to talking, man, and like it just annoys me. And then like I just got constant.
We all on the same page. Like people
It's just
I was like, hey, to me, I'm like, say it with your chest, say it short, say it succinct, let me answer, get the fuck out my face.
yeah.
And I think it's a great habit for me because I used to use too many words. Everybody said I was loquacious. Prison, I came back and first thing my family said is, you changed, because I never listened. And B, you know, when you met me, probably
Right.
I wasn't a listener. You know the transition you go
Nah.
through, but I think I hate to say, every loudmouth needs a little straightening, and prison can't help with that, especially RDAP. It straighten you out. If you talk a lot, oh my God.
So let me ask you this, Ross. I'm pretty sure you can relate to this. And we have so much interaction with people throughout the day between coworkers, customers. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when I get home, man. I like it's sometimes I don't even want to talk on the phone to nobody, bro.
Oh,
you're
mentally.
I need some
burnt out.
time to myself. It's almost like, hey, it's count time. Hey man, like you know, I need everybody to be quiet.
Lights out.
You used to everybody, like everybody, it's count time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, lights out. Yeah, and then you just and then I ain't got to, and it's just shut everything down. You know what I'm saying? And it's
That's funny.
It's I still go through that.
Honestly, y'all, it like okay. So you came out for my birthday weekend. It took me, and being the life apart and appreciating you guys coming out. It literally took me a week to get my head back on, like to get my energy back up from being out there, because I'm just not used to the person I used to be, being a life of the party, talking to everybody and whatnot. I pretty much my job. I hate to say it, I like working. Yeah. That's all I like doing.
Yeah, I would say.
And I hang with my chick and my girl. I mean my chick and my dog. In prison. Go ahead, Ross. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I would say I've developed some great listening skills, right? But I think I've had that way before the prison experience. It kind of heightened it even more just through some of the stuff we learned in RDAP. So it kind of sharpened it. So I'm a little different. I don't mind listening to people. I don't always have a lot to say back, depending on what we're talking about. But sometimes people just need an ear. So I think I got the patience to listen. But I'm not a big talker. I'm not a big talker.
You were a pastor.
Yeah, that's correct.
That goes hand in hand.
It shaped that skill set. Him and I had the same conversation. We got, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, he's even said it himself, because he was a pastor. He was more, his daily tasks were to have to listen to people and their issues and their problems. So it probably doesn't affect him like it probably does you and I.
Ross is. Go ahead.
No, but I will, and this is another habit I have from RDAP. Okay, so like if something's going on or I'm in a situation, because as you got through the program, you start to, in certain situations, you may appreciate the feedback, or how we would after Jumpstart, or when we would RDAP each other. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. In certain times, in certain situations, because as our skills or tools develop, we would use them to help one another in lifetime situations, especially if we were dealing with something at home. You know what I'm saying? So my point of this is, because I have my man so close to me, I ask him for a lot of feedback. You know what I'm saying? I ask him, hey, bro, can you give me what's your feedback? You know what I'm saying? Did I handle this way, or should I say this that way? And it's been real influential for me to, to have him, and I appreciate you for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? God makes things and puts people in your life for a season and a reason sometimes.
In a lifetime. That shows maturity, that shows growth, and that shows, you open to learn and know that you don't know everything. And know that sometimes, and I hate to say, know that sometimes you might have not done the best, I guess. Basically, when you ask somebody what the feedback is, that because you're not comfortable to say, did you make the right decision or move? You're asking somebody who's qualified to tell you that, I might have done it this way, or you could have tried it another way.
Look,
comfortable. I'm gonna keep it 100.
And you don't feel bad. you don't
I
feel
don't know.
bad because you trust him and you know he's looking after your best interest. And it's funny, just in life, we tend to take advice better from people who we know don't want anything from us. They only want the best for us. And if I'm asking somebody who I think is a hater for advice, and even if he gives me the best advice in the world, hey, if it's different from what I feel, I'm gonna take it as hate. I don't care how good it is.
Nah, I'll say, and me and B's kind of like relationship developing, you know, as friends, because I've been giving advice for a very long time, right? And when people seek, not voluntarily though, only when people ask me for my advice, and my personal experience is that what agitates me is most people ask for advice, but they don't really want advice. They right, they're asking for it. I haven't figured out why, but it's kind of like one, they're not going to take it.
Hey, Ross, they just want to hear. I'm going to interject. I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
They want to hear you regurgitate what they did or
it's
what
like,
they felt.
but they
People
don't
like
want to
hearing
take
people
it.
like hearing somebody else.
They want a yes man.
Yes,
People like
exactly.
hey, I'm not saying everybody. Let's say we know that this goes out to the world. I'm saying that the majority throughout my life, I've learned and given advice to other people that, hey, I say this. If you want me to repeat what you say like a parakeet, just tell me. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I said but if you want me to give my real honest opinion, feedback, be cool with that as well. And if you don't want either, I don't need to fuck with you. Because I'm going to give you
saying, Ross. Yeah,
so two things. One is, I don't know how B was before RDAP, right? But only from stories and talking to him and things he explained about himself, because he's become very self-aware
hard-headed
of who he was versus who he is and like who he's trying to become, right? But when he does seek like advice or to kind of see if he's thinking straight on something, or if I have any feedback, he definitely takes consideration to what's being said, which is different than most people. That was my point even saying that, because I can see that he will consider, he's genuinely seeking to see if he's thinking straight on whatever it may be. And I think that's big. I think that's huge. It's huge because
it's huge.
Especially if that wasn't once a skill set or a trait, because we know how we can get. We get in our ego. We get in. This is the best way that we think that it should be done, whether it's wrong or right. And even if it was wrong, we just gonna chalk it up and keep it moving. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Right.
So,
no doubt. It's the growth. The growth is it's funny. I have these conversations with more of my family than in my family, and my wife is my family. I say the growth it's funny. When I got out, it was about kind of proving to people that I had changed. And then I realized it wasn't about proving to people. I was still looking for admiration or a pat on the back for, hey, look what I did. I went to prison, came out a better person, instead of knowing I am a better person. I don't care what you think about me. I'm just going to continue to do this until you see it. I don't need a pat on the back. But I came out of prison wanting a pat on the back. I'm going to be honest with you. I did, because remember, I went through solitary confinement for 11 months. I knew what I went through, but even if you tell somebody that, they could only envision what they envision. Like on our last episode, you explained the shoe, B. Most people don't understand what that is. Most people don't understand you can go to sleep with a dread on your forehead, that you shitting in front of other people. Nobody gets that. But I knew that, just like I think you did, B, that some things need to change in you. And I knew that. I didn't know what they were until I got to RDAP. And then I found out that I definitely wasn't open-minded. Number one, it was my way, the highway. And even if you thought something else, I was smart enough to convince you and make you rethink your thought. And that was manipulative as hell. And then when I got out of RDAP and got out and said, it's okay for people to think differently. It is okay. Hey, we don't even have to agree. The one thing that I've told my wife this, I said, yo, I don't want to be right. I want to be understood.
Yeah.
And I want to understand you. And if humans as a whole, this is a second chance podcast, but there's a life podcast as well. And if everybody got that, yo, I just want to be understood. Respect how I feel about something, respect how I think about something, I'm definitely gonna respect how you feel and think something. I don't have to agree.
No, 100%.
But I'm gonna respect it.
I think the 9 months in that program, even though we may not, unless you just like really stand up on it, you may not always realize we learned so much in that time frame, but the principles of what it taught us, it got wired into us, whether we knew it or not. Like for those that really went through it and completed that program, it got wired into us. So it's really not about, I say the same thing about, like scriptures, you know what I mean? It's about understanding the principle, because once you understand the principle of something, then in essence, everything changes for you. So it's not about remembering it verbatim, because the principle is the substance of what you're trying to learn. So I think the biggest thing it helped us all understand is that we all have irrational thoughts. And
without a doubt,
you know what I mean? So trusting your thoughts and your thoughts alone 100% of the time. What Adam Scott say, your best thinking got you here. What she was
Hey, your best
yeah.
what'd you say? Your best move
got you here, but it's really your best
your
thinking.
Best move ended you taking time that you can't get back. Your best move got you here. That did get ingrained in my head. I had Adam Scott.
Yeah, because we got all these irrational thoughts.
Yeah, and at first, the first 3 months, I was like, my best move didn't get me here. And then I was thinking, whatever move I made got me fucking here. And so she right, I'm wrong. I can't leave.
But it's really your best thinking, because all we learned in that place was the power of thought, like the power of thought.
The power of thought, how your thoughts control your feelings, man.
Correct.
And how your feelings make you react or not reactive. You know what I'm saying? And it's controlling those feelings and those thoughts, and having that slowing down your thinking and having that self-talk with yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's all about to make yourself feel better, bro, and dealing with the situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what's been huge for me, man. And I said this on the last episode, and I guess I want you guys' opinion. I don't think I would take it back, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I could go to prison for that short amount of time, like I said, I kind of look at it now like going to school, and based on what I got in school and how it's enabled me to handle situations, handle my thoughts, and handle my emotions, my anxiety, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just been huge in my growth as a person. I think even from my mental health, my physical health, it kind of all just goes hand in hand, And I would, if I could leave for 13 months and come back with what I came back with, I would do it again if I would have known going into the situation.
I agree. 100%.
100%. I would say that if you interviewed anybody in my family, my wife, my mother-in-law, they would send me away again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say. I came back a more thoughtful. I mean, I got my guy sitting back right here. He thought it was my boy Raul thought that the program was bullshit because he didn't go through it. And when we first got out, we used to actually get into debates on, he's like, how long this going to last? How long this you going to last? Mm-hmm. Hey, I know who you really are. And it used to actually piss me the fuck off. Like, I'm like, no, I think about what I do now. I'm not trying to hurt y'all. I'm thinking about how you guys feel about certain things. I'm thinking about what I do. And now we would hang out and get into, like, he would almost force me to get in arguments, but I had that DAP in me.
I'm more apologetic.
I wasn't gonna let him get me off my square.
Yeah.
And so I would say no, for like I say, the people that were in that program, 100% of them needed it. We all needed it. And we came out like Ross, you seem like you always been a good dude. I mean, you were a pastor. You took a chance.
You just got caught on 3 chances. I've been taking chances my whole life. Shit, yeah, I've been taking chances my whole life.
He always say, I had real businesses. I had $1 million businesses, and I had $1 million hustles. It's just that they were married together. One didn't happen without the other. If one was felon, I was subsidizing the other one with the other one. And so the fact that he got caught, the dominoes failed, and the fact that a prosecutor didn't say he did enough. And maybe they didn't think he did.
Yeah, my objective is to show people based on my circumstances. Because it's all on how you look at it, right? Like I can be woe is me. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at everybody else who had a lifelong a life of crime, and I'm like, I had this span of time that I made some decisions which was
Shit.
wrong, right? I could focus on that, but I made some decisions, bro. You know what I mean? I made some decisions.
Right.
I got addicted to the lifestyle. I got addicted to the money. Through that lifestyle, I got addicted to the club, the nightlife, all that came with the environment I was in. And so when all this stuff started hitting me back to back to back, I could be woe is me. But I choose to show people that you can still come out no matter what your circumstances are or how many times you have to continue to deal with it. But it's just like making sure that you are a changed man or a changed individual and put your best foot forward. Like I lost that time. I lost that time. I can never get that time back. Am I gonna spend my time worrying about all of that, or am I gonna maximize on what's in front of me? Because
hey, Ross, Elon Musk can't get that time back. He ain't found a way yet,
back, bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys, hey, that leads into a harder version of the second chance conversation.
Hold on, man.
We all say people deserve us another opportunity, but would we personally take the risk to hire somebody just like us?
100%, I would.
Okay, go ahead, Ross. Go in. Why?
100% I would. I mean, when you say just like us, 100% I would. We was having this conversation, me and B the other day, because it's just, man, hiring a felon, you just, obviously there's two different versions. You got, all felons ain't made equal. So, uh, but there are certain things that when you've been through the system that you know that there's some values and some principles that this man or this individual has, right? And we see that all the time, like the grind, the hustle, the grit, there's just certain
The
makeups of
respect.
characteristics that an individual kind of makes from going through that journey that we have like an equal appreciation for, because once you see it in a person, which don't take that long to see, man, I'll bank on that person any day of the week, because they're gonna be loyal they're gonna be loyal, they're gonna lock in, they have that drive about them, and they also, if they're in the mindset to build something, you know what I mean, trying to.
Okay, so Ross, I got to interject. I got to keep it 100 with you. How do you know? You're okay. You would hire you, but now I want to take this in a bigger scale, because this is an important conversation. You would hire you because you know your go hardness, you know your consistency, you know your. But the average person that we were in with, no, I wouldn't hire. Hell, fucking no, crazy. You would hire you. B, you would hire you. That's why we're on this podcast together. So how do they separate themselves? Like they say, if the job involved handling money, would you hire someone convicted of my exact crime for stealing $48 million? Like if I need to manage your finances. You knew that. Hey, you knew I knew everything about credit, everything about banks. You knew my background, commercial real estate. You knew I graduated from college, but you said somehow this man still stole money.
This is when I say, as a leader, because when you talk about hiring, you got to be in a leadership position, which we all are, right? So as a leader, your listening skills has to be more on point, because if you're asking the right open-ended questions and the person is telling you stuff, then you can identify changes in a person's mentality from going through that, versus an individual that's feel institutionalized and they don't have the mentality that you're looking for in that employee. You're right. So I'm looking for certain attributes. I'm listening for certain things to be said about these individuals and how they're wired, how they're thinking. I mean, we recently was interviewing a guy who, he's a felon, but I'm listening for certain things. You know what I mean? When you're talking to a person, you can identify uh, where a person is now versus who they were. And I guess the thing that helps me, because I did go through the system, is I'm not quick to judge somebody just because I've seen some dudes. I've seen some of the worst bad apples in there. I've also seen some great men inside of the institution as well, which meeting you guys and meeting so many others that I'm still locked in with. So I have I see it both sides, because I can't pass judgment on a person just because they went through the system. Even though there is some dudes in there that you probably wouldn't hire, there's a lot of guys in there that, like us, starting this podcast, that we just align in so many ways from a mentality standpoint, and that didn't define everything about our human existence.
I'm right here. Yes, sir.
Now I want your honest assessment of, yes, you and Ross were together, but you knew Ross inside. You knew how smart he was. You knew his background. You got to know you guys were brothers in Christ. I'm saying for the random person walk up, B, in your situation, like if I walked in there, you didn't know me from Adam. And, hey, I sold the game, but I still, like, I say there's two different types of people who get out of prison. There's one who's trying to get everything back in 6 months, and there's one who knows it's going to be a journey. And so how do you pick between those two? Because one is a hustler, and if you show him enough direction, you can help him.
So how to pick between what two now?
How do you pick a guy's getting out? Hey, you're interviewing a guy. He tells you, hey, by the way, hey, I just got out the feds. Hey, here's my background. I'm educated. I'm going to show up on time. I work, but I'm trying to get this money ASAP. I'm going to sell 1,000 cars for you. I'm trying to get this Rolex by Christmas. But hey, he's a salesperson. You want that. Ross is laughing. He's like, they out there. Mm-hmm. But, and you say, yo, bro, it's going to be an uphill battle on this one. Because, and so B, how do you pick like who you would hire if they have that F behind them? Or do you just move on because you have that? But remember, you're in a standpoint where you don't, I said, would you hire somebody like us? I'm talking about you're acting as an employer and you don't have to. You don't have to have empathy. You don't have to second chance it out. You have to, hey, your real shit is, I can't take this risk. So what is to make, like if somebody's listening to this, just got out, that used to have everything, that really wants to rebuild, and those are the A-B type. I need it back in 6 months. Can this job get it for me? And in sales, there are some sales jobs where you can make $200,000, $300,000 a year. And hey, you can go out and do that. And there are other slow-mo jobs that you make $80,000 a year. You're going to be able to afford, your apartment, decent car. But he's coming to you for an interview. And so what do you do as a guy who doesn't have to hire, as an employer, as you're an entrepreneur and can hire people, as a guy who doesn't have to hire this guy? What does he have to do to stand out with a felon?
So I guess I can just go based on my personal experience, kind of being in that situation and being that guy that came home and got out. And I was actually a person that came home and was frustrated because I had a plan that I was trying to put in place, and I couldn't get my plan put in place to what I was going to do based upon getting my CDL in prison. And, because I'm pretty much a goal-driven type person, you know what I'm saying? And I had set this goal for myself, and it wasn't materializing. But with that being said, I was transparent, let them know, hey, man, I just came home from prison. This is what the skill sets that I have to offer. But what I'm willing to is more or less humble myself and come on as more as a worker or a salesman, you get, so to speak, and show you what I have to offer. And I just did that. I showed them, what characteristics that I had. Not only that I was determined, driven, hardworking, had plenty of entrepreneurial type experience that I was able to bring to the table, and I was able to show him that in different situations. So it elevated me from becoming a worker to more of an investor. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of grew from there. But to answer your question, if it was myself interviewing someone, I think what I would look at, one, if they told me they've been to prison, I'm definitely not going to use that as a strike against them and judge them accordingly. Now I'm going to ask more questions and try to figure out exactly why you went to prison. You know what I'm saying? So now if you talking about you was a chomo, you know what I'm saying, or a child molester.
I was, hey, B, you just hit on my next, how I was going to transition into my next question.
And myself, and then,
So there
And I'm
are
gonna
people
ask
who
them
are off
questions.
limits from. There are people who should be off limits in your perspective from being
Right.
hired.
And one of my things I had to overcome, I guess, and realize about myself, maybe I'm not still wasn't asking the right questions, because when I talk to a person, in these same situations, and you're interviewing a person and asking them about their background and what, and you can listen to them and hear their education and their knowledge, but the thing is, hearing education or someone sounding educated doesn't mean that they're necessarily educated. You get what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I ain't gonna
Uh,
drop no names. I know what you're talking
100%.
about, but it's cool.
no, I don't think you know what I'm
Hey,
talking.
hey,
I actually don't think
hey.
you know that you. Ross knows what I'm talking about, but I don't think you know what
Oh,
I'm
my
talking
bad.
about.
Hey,
Okay,
that was my assumption.
I'm definitely willing to I want to hear what you have to say, what you thought. But I'm referring to
Hey,
something
I
that
was
we've
gonna.
been dealing
Hey,
with.
I was gonna bring what you talk about onto the show in the next two
Okay,
shows to see how.
I know
Hey,
where you're going with it now.
to see if he
Yeah,
his RDAP held or
yeah,
if
yeah.
his bullshit held.
No,
Like,
and I get that. But I guess what I'm saying is that I didn't ask so much because this person talked so well and had enough knowledge of the industry that I'm in. You see what I'm
oh,
saying?
this is somebody different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume they had certain education, and then come to find out they don't even have their GED. So I had put by just having conversations and knowing their work experience, but not their education. I had put this person
On a
up
pedestal.
on a pedestal, so to speak, because they were speaking my language when we're talking accounting and bookkeeping and being organized. You know what I'm saying, which is hard to find in someone that typically is not educated. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so it put them on a pedestal. But then when you get into having this working relationship with this individual, and they don't have the education, they don't have the people skills of dealing with people. You see what I'm saying? Versus a person that's come from prison, you really can't make it through prison. It's hard to make it through prison without
Hey,
knowing how
I,
to deal with people, how to humble yourself and check your emotions. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, to get along, just so you can make it through the day.
I mean,
You know
I
what I'm
hate to
saying?
say it. It's basically you're soft tapping, or my dad used to say pussyfooting around. Hey, in prison you get your ass beat for anything, even at a low or a minimum. You still can get your ass beat for
Get
turning the
your
TV.
get your
So
ass
you
beat in.
learn.
Just be,
You
yeah,
get your ass
Hey,
beat
so
in a
you.
camp. What you mean?
Hey,
yeah,
so yeah,
yeah.
so you can learn.
Hey,
Hey, you learn very quickly that you can get your ass beat. And I hate to say that's the old school punishment. Like when I don't have kids, but I got my ass beat as a kid, and I still am for spanking a kid.
I don't
And
know.
and
I
and
don't know why
I'm
people.
for quick remedies because I got it quickly. That was
Hey,
wrong. Ouch. And so in prison, it's really quick. Disrespect somebody, get your ass beat. You'll
without a
stop
doubt,
disrespecting people. And disrespect, remember what we talked about, is different to each person. So you learn a lot of
without
disrespectful things that you used to do.
yeah.
without a doubt. I don't know if that was necessarily a struggle that I had, but I definitely, I could see that struggle in you when you first came to prison and versus when you got out of prison, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, myself, like respect has always just been a big thing with me, and I try to affiliate myself with those, and I think that's why it was easier for me to move around in prison and get the things that I wanted or felt I needed in prison to make it comfortable, because I'm just used to
I always
dealing with
be,
people with respect, and then also I'm just able to identify bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And
I,
so,
I think I'm more. I think I'm wired almost. If I find out early on, like talk about somebody that's a potential a hire or somebody that can be part of the team, I'm I'm leaning into if a person is a felon or does have a background that I almost want to give this person a second chance, but it's up to them to kind of like ruin that for themselves. Because I kind of
mm,
because maybe because I have the background of going through the system and stuff like that and needing an opportunity, even though I've never doubted myself and my capabilities of what I can do. I'm kind of leaning into already once I hear that, like, man, can I give you an opportunity? Like, how can I maybe give you an opportunity or create an opportunity because I want to help this brother or sister out and get him in position, right? And
Is that him or
it's
me?
like I said, is asking those questions and maybe leaning into the person and learning something about them. Because just because you went through that does not mean that you're the best fit for the position, or that we may not even have a position that you're a good fit for. Because all that matters when you're talking about hiring, they also got to be trainable at the same time. So I think there's just a lot of components that go to it, but I'm almost betting on this person. Like, I want to give you a second chance or point you in a direction where somebody can give you the opportunity, even if it's not us or me, but it's almost like you got to run it at that point. It's got to be something about you that's like, well, bro, you're really not the best fit.
So I'm gonna chime in here and give all of a sudden throw my devil's advocate card in. Okay, so somebody watching this, most people watching this. Okay, so we're gonna say I would give on. I'm gonna go deeper on our other episodes. I love giving analytics and statistics. I figured until we had 8 episodes in, I wouldn't give the real facts and break that down just so we can go But somebody watching is gonna say, "You committed a crime. Why should any employer take the fucking risk?" What do you say to them?
They say, I committed a crime. Are we?
I mean, you commit. Me, you, criminals, anybody, felon. You committed a crime. For a person who hasn't committed a crime, who thinks that anybody who got charged with a crime is guilty. There are people like that. Mm-hmm. I think most people, I would say 90% of people say if you got charged with something, you were guilty.
I agree.
And so why should you be on the same playing field as somebody who hasn't?
It's not a matter of should. It's at that point, I don't really, for lack of better words, I don't really care if a person feels like I shouldn't be on the same playing field. I'm gonna prove that.
Ross, be honest. It's your podcast.
Yeah, I'm a prove it. I'm that type of person. That's why I said my mentality is a little different than most. I think that I think that most people coming out of prison struggle with that. Is that question right there is already a limiting belief in most people coming out of prison that they don't thrive and almost they fall in line with the perception that other people are judging them, that they don't deserve these opportunities or they can't earn these opportunities. I have a different mentality because I almost want you to doubt that I don't deserve to be on the same playing field with you, because I'm gonna show you that I'll be right on the same level with you. Because I'm gonna put in the work, I'm gonna develop the skills that's needed, and I'm gonna keep the mentality that that I can be and do anything that I put my mind to, as long as I put in the necessary work ethic, educate myself, sharpen my skills. So I'm not overly optimistic without putting in the necessary input inside of myself that I can actually arrive where this person is doubting that I deserve. So I guess my pushback is I don't have an answer to that person that thinks that way. It's almost like my answer is to the men and women that are getting out to not care what other people think, but to the degree of not taking in consideration of what they think, but more so think more of yourself and what you can do, more than how they think that you can't do it because you have been to prison before. If that makes sense. Like, it's more having the belief in myself. No matter what oppositions are going to be against me, I know it was going to be hard. I know it's going to be difficult. I know I may not find, like B said when he got out, like he faced some challenges thinking that he was going to be able to use his CDL, but we pivot. You don't throw in the towel. You don't give up. You don't just you don't just. There's always an opportunity. You just got to be open-minded to find it, because your qualities, your skill sets, who you are, can be applied in any industry. Don't let people that have squeaky clean records on the surface make you feel like they ain't got skeletons in their closet just because they ain't went to prison. Just because people ain't committed crimes don't mean that individuals don't have issues, struggles. No. You know what I mean? It may not be criminality, but we all are human beings and we all struggle with something.
Basically, we were covering up I played devil's advocate, and basically I said, why the fuck should I hire you? You're a criminal. I got other applicants. Why should I give you a second chance, any chance? Because you got caught for something. I said that 90% of people, this is my statistic in public, that if you ever got charged with anything or you ever were convicted of something, people don't give you the second chance. People just say, you're guilty, you got caught, why should I have to mess with you? Hey, you're discarded, basically. And so why should I have to give you an opportunity? You should basically just work hard. And Ross, what he called in the playback, you'll see he broke it all the way down on, yeah, you're right. He's like, but I'm going to outwork, I'm going to outdo, I'm going to out. And I said, hey, that is going to be some good clips because he got really eloquent with that one. But I said, B, same question to you. See how you feel when I say it, because Ross took it some type of way. I said, you're a fucking criminal. Why the fuck should I hire you? I don't have to. Why should I give you a chance? What makes you better than the person who didn't get caught? What makes you better than the person who has the same education, that says they go hard, that didn't get caught, that doesn't have a felony? What makes you better?
So I guess I would RDAP myself first. You know what I'm saying? And I have
before you cuss me out.
Before I cuss you out. And so, like, I'm going to RDAP myself first. Like, why is this man saying this to me? Why does he feel the way that he feels? So therefore, I would get myself to a place by my positive self-talk and being open-minded and trying to look at it from that person's perspective. Why are you coming at me like that? You know what I'm saying? And so for a person that's going to come at me like that, that's not going to know what some of these, one, you don't know the skill sets that I have to offer, and then two, you don't know what I've been through. And this person more or less is judging me because of my past and my background. So myself, I know going into being put in that situation, I have to be open-minded and realize, hey, I put myself in this situation for the person to even look at me this way. So therefore, it'd be beneficial if I humble myself, understand the dynamics of why I put myself in this situation, and so therefore I would maybe say, look, Mr. Employer, you know, I understand why you feel the way that you feel, but I would encourage you and ask you to give me an opportunity, and then I can show you better than I tell you, and show you that with the skill sets that I bring to the table. More than anything, I don't think like a worker. I think like a business owner or entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And therefore, for anyone that owns a business or has a business, it's hard to hire and employ people that have that entrepreneurial mindset. Most people have that worker mindset. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not one of them people. You know what I mean? So I know that's going to show its head before anything. So if you just give me an opportunity, if they just give me that opportunity, I can do the rest on my own. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing I said is, like you said, Ross felt a certain type of way when you asked that question. And it's me, I would probably feel the same type of way in that scenario. And that's why I broke it down for you, how I would process it before I even answered that question. You did?
Hey, B, I've told a person at a sitting at the bar who was tried to give me a job, and the first thing I said was, one, I'm a felon. I was like, what? And I said, the luckiest thing that can happen in your life is meeting somebody like me that needs an opportunity that's going to help you advance. I said, because I think way bigger than you. I said, but I don't right now. I said, I got shackles on. I might be out here free, but I got shackles on. But I'm willing to help you in whatever way I can. I said, with my mentality and my go hardness, I said, I was willing to take a chance to change my life to go to prison. So imagine after serving the time, what I'm willing to do to just make a little bit of money now, the right way.
Right.
And if somebody don't want to hire me on that, fuck them. Hey, they not trying to make no real money anyway.
Without a doubt, what you said.
And that's my mentality. But no, it's some real shit. Hey, you guys, I think we shared a lot of information. We're going to go to our weekly segment, Rational Self-Analysis, or B like to call it RSA. RDAP calls the RSA. I know that nobody had an completely awesome week. We all had something that we ran into. We all had something where we want to say, I could take it to the streets with this one. I can use my hands. I can cuss this person out. It made me want to act really irrational really quickly. And because of my training, because of my focus, because of my RDAP, because I like being free, that I thought about it, made a different decision, and I went to sleep and slept well. It's called the RSA, Rational Self-Analysis. We're going to start off with Ross, even though you're going to have to see what he said on the tape. You missed it when your phone went out. He gave a really good answer for the other one. So, Ross, what was your RSA? What triggered you this week that you were proud of yourself for acting in a rational manner when your old self might have acted irrational?
So this current week, so when this episode is aired, kids go back to school on Monday. So most people don't know I have three boys, a 22-year-old, a 20-year-old, and an 11-year-old. My 11-year-old starts school on Monday, tomorrow. And I had sent my my ex-wife some money for school clothes and things of that nature to her. And I sent an amount to her, and she responded that she thought it was going to be a different amount, right?
It was going to be more.
It was going to be more, but the way she said it, as if we had a conversation, that that it was going to be the amount she texted me that it was supposed to be.
Ross, did she hit you with, is that it?
No, it wasn't as that it. It was literally like the dollar amount. Like, I thought you was going to send this, and I'm like, well, when did we discuss that? We discussed the amount that I sent you. But in her mind, she calculated some other stuff that we never had a conversation for. But prior to RDAP and understanding the RSAs, my response would have been way wilder. Like, you know what I mean? But I was able to slow down my thinking and communicate to her, like, maybe I'm missing something. Did we talk about that dollar amount that you're asking for right now? Because I thought we agreed on what I sent you to be of help, to help you with the school clothes. But that would not have been my responses in the past. Because she would try to do stuff like that a lot. And it was manipulative. And I don't like to feel like a person trying to manipulate me, or especially when we have an agreement. And then now I feel like you're trying to play me. So my response would be a lot more loose in times past with her, and more reckless. But because of RDAP, I slowed down my thinking, and I asked a thought-provoking question to make sure that was this something that you didn't communicate to me? Because last time I thought we talked about the dollar amount that I just sent you. So where did this come up? And what happened was she ended up for this scenario, she ended up getting something extra, a book bag or something that cost a little more. And she did in her mind that we could split the cost of what the book. It was like $100 book bag. So it was like $50 more that had been added. It wasn't a big deal about the money. It was just the principle of the matter. Like, she presented it as if we talked about the totality of this number being one thing. So I was just like, I just asked her a question. I slowed down my thing. I didn't respond immediately to the message with anger or arrogance, or like you trying to play me, because that's not what we discussed. I just asked her, like, maybe I'm missing something. Did I not send you the amount that we already agreed to that you said would help you? And then she kind of explained her side, and then we came to an agreement off of it. So that kind of helped me, because before, like I said, that type of stuff would kind of like mess me up. I'm big on feeling like somebody playing me. I don't care who it is. Like, if I feel like you playing me, it brings another side out of me. So
I mean, unless you, and I hate to say this, like we talked about, if you know people like how you and B take work together, but B is willing to listen to you and come to you and saying, did I say that right? Or let me give you the situation where B comes to me and say, and then we give the real honest opinion, not trying to clown him, not trying to what he got, but wanting the feedback, whatever happens, to turn out the best way it can turn out. And so if you and your wife, this is me being in public, or you and your ex-wife with the kid don't have that same feeling towards each other, it's more like you can, I advise people, please, if you watch this podcast, don't read into text. Read them like Dr. Seuss is reading them to you. Laugh at it, because people say ignorant shit all the time. And they say it via text because we're all text tough guys, and we all can. Hey, I'm one of them. I got crazy texts out there that, hey, my wife has showed me some stuff where I said that wasn't me. And so you get something.
I call it a telephone or texting thug.
Telephone tough guy. Hey, you can. Hey, and it's immediate, and it's because, hey, you sent her something that she wasn't expecting. She was expecting a surprise, or in her mind something. You get a text back, and now you guys got a chain of other things, but yet you stopped it. You used your rational thinking and said, all right, how do we discuss this? Because I wasn't prepared for this. I look at it this way. Why would somebody, now I look at it 3 ways. Why would somebody hit me with this on a text? All I did, and then I look at what I did. And then sometimes I actually now, you guys, I hardly ever, like, really, I think my RSA be so quick that I usually chuckle at crazy shit. Because I'm like, oh, this person thinks I'm going to go here with it. Well, I'm like, oh, they reacted quickly without RSA in it. They just reacted. Yeah, and anybody who just reacts is going to lose with me.
The first thought that come to my mind, you know, the RSA, slow down your thinking, was the first thought that comes to mind. And
they just reacted.
In the past, it'd be like, oh, she trying to play me. Like,
my past. Hey, my past. If I might eventually, once we get popular, I might put some of my past shit on just to demean myself, and y'all might look at me like, whoa. So mine happened yesterday. I had a decent week. Nothing too much. My week is the same. Work my ass off, hang with my wife, hang with my dog, go out to eat sometimes. And so yesterday I'm talking to my boy. One of my boys we met. Won't mention his name, but he's become close to me, and he lives in Atlanta. But he's struggling. He's driving DoorDash, and I can only give him so much advice. But he doesn't take my advice. So I'm one of those that, remember how we talked earlier? If you want to just hear me repeat your stuff, then I'll do that for you, because obviously you're not taking my advice, so you don't really want my advice. It's a waste of time. 100%. And so I sent him an article the other day, and this might, this is one of the things that allegedly can go viral, because I'm going to give my real opinion. Guy posted something, Hasan, you might have saw it, you be on TikTok and whatnot. Guy posted he worked 12 hours a day for DoorDash for 5 days, or for 1 day. He made $215, drove 238 miles. He did the math, and it was $17.38 an hour. I took it a step farther. You know me and analytics. I put it into ChatGTP. I said, what does the IRS give you for cost per mile? It says 76 cents per mile. It deducted the per mile. You know what it paid, Ross?
What's that?
If you deduct his expenses,
what's that?
Minus what it paid?
What's that?
$3.78 an hour.
Sounds about right.
That's waiter salary without the tips.
100%.
And he was including tips. And so my boy
was he talking about it in the article as if it was like a lot of money?
Oh, no, he wasn't. He was saying he's struggling, and this is the max you can make. He was trying to enlighten people, which I liked. But at the same point, that didn't really enlighten people, because people look at the number and say $17 an hour is okay. $17 an hour, Ross, at a 2,080-hour work year is about $34,000 a year, minus taxes, about $30,000. And that's still, in America, that in China, you middle class, in America, that's not. And so, but $4 an hour is the new slavery. So these apps are the new slavery, not this app, but these apps where you're doing gig work and you're using your car and your resources. You can't live off of $4 an hour. The fucked up thing is that you get paid every day. You get paid once a week. And so my boy, who is still contemplating going to the dark side because he's doing this, I explained to him, he's like, Hasan, why would you send me this? And so he calls me up drunk yesterday. I'm sitting up reading, and he wants to have a debate with me. I don't know why, Ross. It's 2, and I guess he's having a good time on on a Saturday. And I said, dude, and he starts telling me that Ross, he's put me in the AI. Ross, I was invested in Tech in 2008. Didn't chat come out in like 4 years ago? He tells me he's put me into all this, and I'm trying to get off the phone with him. I'm using my tools. Immediately, as soon as I started him slurring, I was like, he been drinking. I guess what I said to him on Tuesday, he'd been thinking about. And when he started drinking, I'm the person that he got to blame for the information. I'm just giving him knowledge.
Yeah.
And so he starts going in on me. And at first, my real personality, your core is your core. My core was to demean him and let him have it for working for $4 an hour. That was how'd you feel? Hey, how'd you feel? I breathed heavy. I took a breath. I wanted a drink. What did you do? I paused. I realized what he was going through. Realized that he's the guy making $4 an hour. And he's calling me to cuss me out for letting him know about that. And then he said a couple things. He used curse words. And I was on the phone and I started laughing. He's like, what are you laughing at? I said, man, you've been drinking and I haven't. And I'm happy for you. I said, dude, you go enjoy your day. I said, try to make it home safe. Try not to get arrested.
Yeah.
And he said, we're not through having this conversation. I said, you may not be, but I definitely am. And I got off and, dude, I went and sat on my balcony and looked, because the way he was talking to me,
it did a little something to you.
My old self almost came back. I could have punched him in the gut so hard that he could have remembered it for the next year. Yeah. That's my old self. I could have hit him with some lyrical jargon that would have made him say, you're doing this.
You had your exit strategy. You had your tools.
Yeah, I used my tools, but the real thing was that you working DoorDash or Uber or whatnot, if you're a person trying to get ahead, not just trying to survive, the math doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And that's all I was trying to tell him. Mm-hmm. I wasn't trying to be offensive. But when he came back days later, and Ross, the conversation was, you know how people say crazy?
Yeah.
You talking to me crazy? And it took me everything. When my wife walked in, I did have some words, though, to tell her about it. I did have to snitch. Yeah, I turned RDAP all the way out. I did.
That's funny.
So B.
So I went about the open-mindedness. So I was just explaining to you how I was identifying my struggles. One of the things I said that I struggle with is being objective with my thoughts sometimes. You know what I'm saying? This person thinks that I'm a punk. This person is trying to, get over on me, taking my kindness for weakness. Those are some of my core beliefs. Weakness, yeah. That's probably why we hit it off. So, you know what I'm saying? Because we both kind of let our guards down with one another. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because weakness, yeah, for sure. And so, therefore, and I had shown this person appreciation because my past dealings with this person. And Ross, you can interject whenever you want because I already know you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But my past interactions with this individual, I wasn't being very objective at times. You know what I'm saying? When dealing with them. I had to realize there's a difference in age, or age difference. You know what I'm saying? She's old enough to be, she's old as I have children her age. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, and she hasn't been in this type of environment before, a work environment where you have a team atmosphere, you have accountability, whatever. So I was placed using demand thinking and expecting her to have all these qualities when in actuality, when I look at it and based on what I've known and got to know about her, that she doesn't have these. So I was using demand thinking, but at any point, so she committed to working on Saturday. Then I get on the phone with her the next day. I need Saturday and Monday off. Well, hold on, man. You got me confused right now. That was it. And I went to respond what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? You just told me we can't operate and run a business this way. You know what I'm saying? You just committed and told me. You see what I'm saying? I'm making plans. You explain why to me when I get finished. But so I'm like, man. So that's my, that was my self-talk. What the fuck? So I said, man, look, I have a tendency to come out a little aggressive at times when in stressful situations with this person. I'm conscious of it, and I know how they've reacted in the past. So they didn't respond well. So I had to pull myself back, and I said, so instead of responding and saying what was coming in my thought, I had to slow down my thinking. So I said, "You're confusing me. Okay, please explain to me. You know, you told me this, but now you're saying this." I had to, and so their response was, I apologize. I got a whole lot of stuff going on in my head right now. I'm stressed. And I had to be a little bit more open minded to her situation, knowing that she just came back from picking up her kids. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, like, I had told Ross when she said the day she told us she was going to come back, I already knew she wasn't going to come back that day just because of me knowing her and how she deals with stress. So I was just able to do a lot of more rationalize, and I knew her habits exactly, and so I was going off of that, and then also I know my weaknesses when it comes to that and my expectations. So I had to realize that about myself, that not everybody comes from the background and the training that I come from, and I'm a little bit more old school. You see what I'm saying? I was these work habits, work characteristics from hard working, determination, being timely, you know what I'm saying, communicating, I can't expect everybody to have the same habits that I have. And if I do, I'm setting myself up for failure. So, I had to give the situation a little bit more grace to make me feel better about the situation. And it's like, man, look, I got to control what I can control. Like we taught in RDAP, I can't control the situation. It is what it is. You just got to deal with it, man, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I got myself through this situation. You dig what I'm saying, Ross? All right. Peace, bro.